Hello guys, welcome to Programming Knowledge. In the previous video, we learned about how to create a basic window and providing image to it, providing multiple widgets, that is, and a combo box, entry widgets, labels, and buttons, etc. So I'll just show you the output of it, and we'll move on to the next one. So this is what we have looked in the previous video. So if you are not familiar with it, go ahead and check that out first, or else you'll be lost. So in this video we'll be looking into checkboxes, radio buttons, and the Tkinter message box. So let's dive into it. So for message box, we'll just type in Tkinter, import Tkinter message box. 1 minute. Okay, so Tkinter dot message box. So it appeared, and what will be do so this is how you can import a message box. And let's create some checkboxes and radio buttons, right? So for that you will have to create two more um, labels, that is for gender and the language. So we'll just dive into it. 1 minute. So for the label fourth, we'll be using, okay, we'll just type in over here. So use this label, copy and paste, and rename it as programming language, and place it somewhere like around 95 and 420, right? Now we'll be using another label, so paste it that again, and we'll be using as a gender for radio buttons, and we'll also place that somewhere different, so 459 maybe, and okay, so let's see what is the output. Okay, so it is a bit messed over here. So as you can see, the buttons are overlapping. Okay, so we'll look into that first. So what we'll do over here is that we'll be changing the position of the button. So we'll just move down and change the position of the buttons. So we'll just change 515, that is 130, and 515 and 280. I guess this should work. So now the buttons have gone a bit down, and we'll have to arrange the programming language label. Okay, so on the label, okay, for the programming language, okay, so 95, right? We'll just change it around, how about 85 maybe, I guess. Let's check 87, and let's rerun this. So as you can see, it is a bit aligned, but we have to place it in the perfect position. So let's check 80. Okay, now it looks a bit better. So okay, so the labels are done and the buttons are placed at a good position. So let's dive into creating the widgets, right? So for creating widgets, create a variable c1 is equal to check button method of Tkinter root comma text. is equal to provide Java, comma, the variable that which we'll be using is equal to C var C1. So for the check button 1, right, underscore C1. Being more specific, it is good, or else it can get a bit messed up. Dot place. So place x is equal to 235 and y is equal to 420, right? Okay, let's see whether it works or not. Save and rerun this. So I guess there is no output seen. I don't know what is the issue with this. Okay, so there is some error. So the variable C1 is showing an error. Okay, so as we have done before, just mention it over here. So where underscore C1 is equal to a string, where, right? Now it will work, I guess. Okay, so as you can see, this is a checkbox for the Java. Okay, now we'll create another one for Python. Okay, let's go down a bit. So copy this one, paste, and change the text Python, change another C2, and of course change the position, or else it will be disoriented. 90 and 420 will be good, and we'll go at the top and mention the C2 one, right? Var C2 is equal to the string variable. Okay, so this is the same as the entry widgets. We'll just fetch out or get the check box we are using. Save. So these are the checkboxes. Okay, now we'll just get into the radio button for the gender. So for radio button, R1 is equal to the radio button root, and we'll just provide a text to it, is equal to male, comma, and a variable for it too. So reliable is equal to radio underscore where, and we'll be using font, or we don't require font, just provide a variable for it. So here the value, a argument, will be using a argument called as value. So whatever value you put into the radio button, it will be used as an object. For example, if you want a value as a male, so you need to pass it as a string. So value is equal to, mention it as a string. Okay, comma, sorry, dot place, and same as x is equal to 230, comma, y is equal to 420. Okay, we'll do the same for the female one, and female, just change it over here R2. We have to change it over here too, so the value for that will be female, and place it like around 90 and 60, around 60, right? Okay, that's good. And we'll be using this variable radio var like we done for the checkboxes, radio var, and mention it at the top. So we'll be seeing like let's go to the top, and we'll be providing it over here. Sorry, so radio underscore var is equal to a string, right? So for the checkboxes, what I've noticed is that we don't need to use the get method, but eventually we'll be using that. But for that, we have only two specific one, that is Java and Python. So just mention it, it will be better. So for the var C1 we are using Java, and for the C2 we are using Python, right? Okay, so let's print out that also. Print the language which we'll be using. So just before that, create a variable var is equal to var3 is equal to var underscore C1, right? So we are getting C1, but we don't have to use, you can use it based on your preference, but here C1 is already provided Java, and C2 is also provided as Python, so you don't need to get it. The value is Java and Python, so that. And for var, so that's, I guess that's for var3 again, and var C2 for the Python. Okay, so so print that too. So what we'll do over here is that we'll just pass 3 probe language is, and for that, for the gender, we'll be using your gender is, and sorry, we have not used another variable for the radio button, but we'll be using as var4 is equal to radio.var dot get. Okay, so it looks good, and we'll be changing it over here as 4. So this is the code, and let's see what is the output. Okay, so the gender is for the male is missing, so let's check that out first. Okay, what is the issue over here? So I guess there is some kind of placing issue, but I can't see one. And Okay, I got this, but okay. So for the radio button mail, we are overlapping it, I guess. So it is with the 230 and 260, I guess. Okay, so we'll just provide this as 260 and rerun this. Okay, now that looks good. Okay, so that looks good, and yep, it looks good. So now we'll just okay, so now we'll just show the output, whether what it prints on the console. So demo score user, provide some random digit for the date, select the country, is Python mail. So there is no output, and there is no error, and the output is been printed. So your gender is male, the programming language is Python as we have selected. So first name demo user concatenation, the date of birth is this, the country is this from the combo box, programming language is Python, and the gender is male on clicking the sign up button. So for this, and we have one more thing left, that is the message box, right? So for the message box, you just need to type in the method that is Tkinter dot messagebox dot show info, not error, info, right? And provide a title, welcome, comma, user, that is also a string, so mention it into a string. User is successfully signed up. Close it, and let's see what is the output again. So this is how you can provide a Tkinter message box, and it will be more clear when the output is shown. So we'll be using another variable. So user name, provide some random digit, select the country, Python, female, and let's see, sign up. So this is a Tkinter message box. So as you can see, what we have provided over here, that is this first argument is the title. Sorry for the spelling mistake, but it is okay, but the purpose has been served. This is the title, and this is the user content. So user is successfully signed up, okay, and this is the printed output from the widgets. So in this video we have learned about the message box, Tkinter message box, showing an output into it, and how you can use radio buttons and checkbox within the Tkinter window. So this is it for this video, guys, and thanks for watching.